never gonna make it. You're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible. It's not probable. You're irresponsible. Too many obstacles. You gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow. You can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move. I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions. They blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen. That shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're driven.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it.
Oh, will you fight?
Hello and welcome to Game Day from the UK, another Miami Heat live pre-game streaming show. Here tonight to preview the game against the Detroit Pistons. Let's introduce the cast. First of all, Glenn Smith, great to have you back. How are you, sir? You're on mute. No, you're not on mute. You're not on mute. We just can't hear you. The standard Glenn Smith technical issues. Ollie Rahimi, how are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. Thank you. It wouldn't be
loud and clear.
It wouldn't be a Glenn show without some technical difficulties, would it?
This is it. That's it. In fact, every time that Glenn's in it, I'm going to start with him because it will give him them time to work around. There he goes. Look, he's left now. He's gone. He'll be back in a minute. Ollie, especially thanks to you because Man United are playing at the moment, mate, and you're here talking to us. This is commitment.
Right? This is commitment. Yeah.
It's not even like it's a Mickey Mouse game either. It's a Champions League game, and you're here with us. Appreciate it, mate.
That's all right. Glad to be here.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, yeah, hopefully we won't take too long tonight, mate. We'll rattle through this for you. Glenn, can we hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Can hear you. We have volume. How are you, Glenn?
Oh, mate, I tell you what, this laptop has been so beat up in the last few years. It can't tell what it's doing at what time, honestly. These don't work at the moment. Either way, it's a pleasure to be back, boys. It's been far too long. I hope you're well.
Well, we heard you, and now you're gradually sort of fading away. You've thrown the headphones out, and we can hear you, but it's like you're in a. There you go. Bring it back. This is quality production. There you go. This is great stuff. Right, guys. After the initial technical issues, we can talk some Heat basketball. We haven't played for 2 days, and it seems like a lifetime ago. But the last time out, really. A defeat for the Heat, which isn't what we normally see at the moment, but a loss to the Timberwolves, Ollie, mainly really because of a terrible second half performance, just 37 points after the break in what was a really exciting game. But that's not going to get it done, is it? That was missing your main players, missing Jimmy Butler, Oladipo was being rested, Caleb Martin, not that spark off the bench. As I said, that was a really, really disappointing, un-Heat-like second half performance.
It was, yeah. Like you said, we were missing a few guys, but I think we've kind of learned over the course of the season that we can't really use that as an excuse for Miami because there's usually so many players that can step up, and we've seen that over an extended period of time. So, yeah, it was a frustrating one. But I mean, it was the Timberwolves. They're a good team, and like can't make that's the truth now. They're a good team. They haven't been for a very long time, and they are a good team. And obviously, Karl Anthony Towns is quite a player. He went for 60 last night. So, they've got a very good team and they've got a very bright future ahead of them. And I think it's just one of those games, I know you sort of mentioned a week or two ago that you expected the Heat to go maybe 12-5, 11-4 over the last sort of batch of games. And I think in that a Timberwolves loss is probably one that you wouldn't be that surprised at. I think I'd be more surprised, obviously, if we went and lost tonight. But yeah, it's difficult without Jimmy, without Caleb, Oladipo resting. He's been impactful when he's come in the minutes that he's had, even though he's coming back. So yeah, it was short-handed Heat, but like I said, it's not really point making excuses. But it's not. I don't think it's that serious, really.
Yeah, I think that's right. I just want to check you can hear me, by the way, because my mic's just failed, and I've now gone over to my laptop mic, so it's all going wrong tonight. But yeah, I make you right. I think they are a good team now. There was I think one loss in about 7 or 8 coming into that game. So they're a fun team, they're a good team. They remind me a little bit of like the Chicago Bulls of the West, especially their starting five. It's exciting, it's strong, it's impactful. And as I said, they're a playoff team now, and they've had our number, Glenn, in recent times. I think they've beaten us. I think they're 4-1 in our last 5 games in terms of beating the Heat. But with Jimmy out, We know what Cole Lowry can do and what he has done, and what he's sort of been brought in to do. But when Butler's out and no Caleb Martin as well, is it fair or to not criticise, but do we expect maybe that little bit more of a scoring punch from Cole Lowry to take that mantle?
I think so. I totally agree with that. I think that despite with more so with it being Kyle's first year as opposed to Bam, obviously he's been there the whole time that Butler's been there. I think Kyle often kind of looks to his side to look for Jimmy, and he's just not there, and he's still kind of not expecting his presence to just not be there. And I think he's missing that. So yeah, you can expect him to step up a little bit more. It'd be nice to see. We've had, as you say, the loss against the Timberwolves, the loss against the Suns. It would be nice to kind of push these last couple of games out the way, sweep them under the rug without much more unexpected losses, maybe. Although, as we said, it's hardly the most unexpected of the schedule that we've got coming up. And it'd be nice to just iron out these kinks. Butler's not going to be there every single game in the playoffs. Really get an earful into Kyle for the next couple of games, and all those guys who've come in fresh first year to just be like, look, he might not be there all the time, but we need you to step up and start scoring when he's not, because it can't all be down to the man coming off the bench in terms of Hero, of course.
Of course, yes. And Tyler Hero again. I mean, just I feel like we're a broken record a bit, but 30 points off the bench again. I mean, he's a man that is just that we can't. We're just repeating ourselves, and it's just the same performance from him. He's becoming an asset to this team. We're talking now, Ollie, in terms of an extension. Rumors of even max money. Would you do it?
Yeah, I think we've discussed before, and I think a lot of people within the Heat believe that his ceiling is very high. Bradley Beal type, Devin Booker, maybe higher than that. One thing that is of note in that extension talk is that if we were to offer him that extension this summer, which I think we will do, is that he will still be on that rookie deal next season. So his extension contract and that money of maybe 30, 35 million, whatever it will be, wouldn't come into play until the 23-24 season, which is Kyle Lowry's last season under contract with us. So it gives the Heat a little bit more flexibility in terms of, if they need to build more pieces around Jimmy, Bam, Tyler, they can do that next year because Tyler's contract wouldn't really come into effect. And I've said, and I know a lot of people have said before, that Tyler and Bam are the future of the franchise. There is no question about that. Those two can be our cornerstone players for the next decade if they wanted to be. And Tyler's put himself in that conversation with Ja Morant and Luka Doncic and Trae Young. He said that he wanted to be, and he is now. He is an elite player. Again, he should have been an all-star. He wasn't this year. I'm sure he will be at some point in the near future. I think the bench role for him just suits him at the moment, but I think next season onwards he'll probably be a starter if he carries on playing like he has been. Almost similar to James Harden when he won Sixth Man of the Year back in, I think it was 2012 maybe, with the Thunder. Obviously a very good player, elite level player. He earned his minutes, coming off the bench, won that Sixth Man of the Year award, and then has been starting. So yeah, I see that career arc for Tyler, and in my eyes, he's definitely worth the money, and he's worth tying down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think if we can get to production of James Harden levels, then the Heat will what they can. And the good thing that whenever any of these talks come back, I remember thinking the same when Bam Adebayo was talking about these sort of money, these sort of figures that he was going to command. The good thing is when everyone starts to dissect it and debate whether or not it's worth it. The great thing about our team is you've got an organisation you can completely trust to work out that they're going to do it. That's best for both parties, and it's a great thing to be able to sit back and just think, let Andy and Pat, etc., just get on with what they'll do, and you've got faith that they'll do it correctly, whatever it may be. Glenn, before we come on to the Pistons game, one other guy that we've called out in recent shows is Max Strus, and since we have, he scored 19 points and 17 points and been explosive off the bench, especially when Duncan continues to be up and down, and that's exactly what Duncan's been. I think he had a 22-point game, followed by a 3-point game. This is very much what we've been getting from Duncan all season, really. But great to see Max come back into the rotation, taking his chance when players are out injured, making the most of his minutes, and impacting on games.
Yeah, as we've said so many times, having two of those guys that are sort of very similar in play style, jack up threes, have the green light whenever they want to shoot. The fact that you've got two of those guys gives a little bit of leeway to each other. One can have a really hot game and one can lay off a bit. My only hope is that between the both of them, they especially come in playoffs, they don't both have off games, because then that would really leave us significantly lacking. But I've been far less concerned with Max's run of form of late than I have been with Duncan's over the season, and I think that's all tribute to Max and how he's wanted to come in whenever he does have the opportunity, and he does want to brush stuff off his shoulders when he's not been his best, and come back through and say, yeah, well, do you know what? I'll take this opportunity whilst I've got it. I'll ride it through, and if other guys aren't going to perform, then I'm happy to step up and take that spot from them.
Yeah, this is it, and I think we had times like this during the season where he took that chance when Duncan was out of form. And Duncan's not exactly out of form, but he's very sporadic. He's very up and down, very hot and cold. And Max is showing that he's not ready to just give up his minutes just yet. And if he comes in and continues to do that, we saw it in the season. He started games, he kept his spot. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe a late season kink there for Spo to give some thought to. Let's come on to the Detroit game again tonight then, guys. They are, as we know, 18 and 50, which is joint bottom of the East. On the road, Ollie, just 7 wins all season. They could have Cade Cunningham out tonight. He's ill and he's a game time decision. Heat obviously very elite at home. The difference being with Cade on and off is that they are 6.6 points fewer per 100 possessions. That's pretty impactful. As we know, is a great player, is their sort of cornerstone of their franchise going forward. If Heat will be overwhelming favourites expectedly and correctly, but if Detroit are trying to get anything to make this a bit of a game, Cade needs to be planned, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure. Cade's their best player, as you said. Well, best player along with Jeremy Grant, I think, but sort of playing time is a bit difficult for them. Cade is a first team all rookie. Rookie of the year, maybe him, maybe Evan Mobley. But yeah, Cade's a fantastic player. He's got an incredible future in front of him. But they have some nice pieces, to be fair. Sadiq Bey is a good shooter. Obviously, Kelly Olynyk, who we know very well, can make impactful minutes and stuff. So it'd be nice to see him back. But they have good pieces. I think they're better than their record shows, to be honest. And Cade is a big reason for that. So if he is out tonight, then that's beneficial for the Heat because as we said, Cade is their most impactful player and most important player. So he adds another element to them. But if he is playing, I still think we have enough. We've got the squad and capabilities to go and beat them. So I'll be looking forward to seeing if we can do it. And whether that's with or without Jimmy, Victor Oladipo should be back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it should be hopefully fairly straightforward.
It should be fairly straightforward. He obviously at full strength as well. I think Caleb Martin the only out at the moment, so we could see some jobs. Get the job done and get some rest for some of these players. So we should see quite a lot of maybe Gabe Vincent and Max Strus again tonight, hopefully. But Glenn, if the Heat have had any criticisms this year, not even this year, over the last couple of years, it's playing down to opponents, and with Detroit coming in really as a free hit here. I mean, they got no pressure on them. They're not expected to win. But in the 3 games we played them this season, Heat are 3-0. All of them have been quite close. We won by 8 in game 1, we won by 10 in game 2, and only by 3 in game 3. So that sort of backs up that this isn't, as I said, this isn't just going to be a rollover. They're going to have to come in and they're going to have to work hard and show focus and get the job done to not show this playing down, which we've done so far this season on numerous occasions.
I totally agree. By no means are they, for them, it really is a free hit. And I think they've shown that in their last run of games, especially more so coming off the All-Star break. Their record looked a lot worse than it does now. And it certainly doesn't look great now. In the last 8, they're 4-for-4 with wins over teams like Charlotte, the Raptors, Indiana, and Atlanta, who by no means, there's a few teams in there who are not pushovers, especially that Charlotte team is really full of young, explosive players. So by no means is it a free hit. They do play well. I think their record is probably poorer than they actually are. But as you said, Kelly Olynyk is a huge part of that. But Cade Cunningham has been the main igniter for that. And I think that the game tonight coming down to the wire will be purely based on whether he plays or not. I expect us to win either way, but it will certainly be a lot tighter with Cade in the game. If he's not, it could be a big blowout. But that's dependent on one player, and that shows the power and the impact that even a rookie can have in this league now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think at the moment the Heat are a -12.5 point spread. As I said, we haven't blown out many teams this year, and when we have done, it's actually been against the good teams. We've struggled against teams where we've been expected to win and been slow to get going in a lot of those games. Ollie, if we're at full strength, which we seem to be according to the injury report, it should just be the same five. Do you think, or do you think that there might be maybe a chance here for Gabe to be in the starting lineup, or do you see it as the normal five to get going?
I think it'll be the normal five. Yeah, I think Spo trusts the group. Other than that stint where Max was in for Duncan, I think the chemistry works, which is sometimes more important than whether you're playing the best player. So that chemistry of that group obviously works at the moment. And yeah, I think it's going to be that five. Come the playoffs, I can imagine it will be very different. I don't think that will be the starting five in the playoffs, but yeah, for now, I think it will be the chemistry works, it fits, and if everyone's active and fit, then yeah, I think it'll be those.
I agree. We'll get some predictions, but I also want to get your thoughts on a final record prediction here. We've got 13 games to go. I'd like to think that we would maybe see, well, I said 11-4 when we had 15 to go, and that we've already lost. We've already lost one of those, so that means we can only go 10-3 in the last 13. We're capable of doing that, but if we want to hold on to this one seed, then I think that, by all accounts, that's what the Heat are primarily focused on now. It is just about literally locking the one seed in. They're not bothered about who we're going to face, even if that be the Nets, the Raptors, whoever it may be. They're not focusing on that. They're focusing fully on getting that one seed, and whoever we get, we get. So thoughts on tonight's win and how many as usual, and then record in terms of a final figure for the last 13 games. Glenn, I'll start with you.
I will go with a win by 20 on the dot tonight. I'm hoping for as we say, I'd like to see, this is the area of the season where I'd like to see our 3-point shooters really warm up and get ready for that postseason. Make sure it's no tapping the rim on the way in, swishes only. Let's see it happen. And in terms of the last 13 games, I actually think we've got a quite tough schedule with some teams that are really on the bounce with their records at the moment and trying to push up the league. With 13 left, I'll call it 9-4. Right. Yeah, that's maths. Great
maths, mate. Yes, 9-4. Don't worry. I was also thinking, hang on a minute, how many is that? Yes, I'm actually right. You're right. We have got some tough games. We've got a lot. We've obviously played this is our 6th out of 7 on the at home during this homestand. We've still got games to play at home. But we've also got quite a few now away coming up as well, including the Raptors, the Celtics, the Bulls. So we've got some tricky games on the road, and that could swing it. Ollie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the same sort of scoreline for tonight. I think if it's not 20, it'll be high teens. I think somewhere between 15 and 20. In terms of the last 13 games, I'm with you, Glenn. I think it's going to be maybe 9-4, maybe 8-5. I think I've said before, anywhere over 500 means the Bucks and the Sixers have to go almost unbeaten over their last game. So I think we should be all right for the one seed. If we can go 8-5 and that secures the one seed, I'll be more than happy. But I think around that figure.
Yes, I agree. I think that we're aligned. First of all, yeah, Heat tonight. I think it'll be mid-teens. I think that we'll get the job done. We'll see some maybe yurts of the minutes, etc. So some of the back end of the rotation coming in towards the end. I'm saying Heat by 15, and I'm aligned with you guys. I think 9-4, and I think that wraps it up quite easily. I think that the Bucks especially would need to be pretty much perfect because of the tiebreaker situation for that to change. So let's hope that's true. Final question here from Grant. Most important question. Same mini figure over Ollie's shoulder. Who you got over there?
It's mini Dwayne Wade. Here we go.
Mini Dwayne Wade. There it is. Perfect. Great spot, Grant. Well done. Yeah, Dwayne, the mascot there, looking over us, making sure we're doing a good job. Guys, we've got this incredibly unique, beautiful time where for almost 2 weeks, we're an hour further or hour closer to the times on the East Coast. So it is 11:30 tip tonight. That doesn't sound a lot for anyone watching America. It is huge for us. That extra hour in bed makes a big difference after our alarms go off the other end before work. So yeah, we'll make the most of that. So 11:30 tip. Please follow us at the Miami Heat UK for in-game comms. We'll be back on, I want to say Friday, but I could be wrong. And I think it's the Thunder. I could be wrong with that as well. I'm pretty sure it's one of them. Either way, let's get tonight's done first before we concentrate on anything else. Subscribe to Miami Heat UK TV. Thanks for joining us, guys. Enjoy the game tonight. Take it easy.